everyone. Thanks for joining us for our first ever Facebook Live. We are broadcasting live from Children's Hospital and Medical Center. And today we're talking about how 3D printing technology is helping us to improve the lives of our patients. So I'm Sarah Weller with Children's Marketing Team, and I am here with Gabe Linke, who is Children's 3D Printing Coordinator. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Sarah.
Yeah, this is exciting stuff. So how are we using 3D printing at Children's to help us deliver the very best care for kids?
Well, currently we're using it mostly for preoperative planning. So we basically take CTs and MRIs, and we're able to take the information off those and create 3D models to use for our surgeons to prepare for surgery or to help educate patients and families on those surgeries that are going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And educating residents probably as well.
Yep.
How powerful is that for patients and families to get that personal model that's made just for them?
Yeah, it's pretty powerful, because when you think about looking at a black and white screen with a lot of stuff that you really don't understand, when you can actually lay that out in color and show them this is a tumor, this is the defect in your heart, and this is what we're going to do to fix it, it's completely different than the traditional methods.
Absolutely. Well, let's get to the models. Where did we start?
So we started in cardiothoracic surgery, so that's where my background is in imaging.
Mm-hmm.
They brought me in to help oversee some of those things. So we started with making replicas of hearts that basically were going to need heart surgeries. This is similar to the first models that we make. It's out of a rubber material that's kind of like simulates the tissue of a heart.
Mm-hmm.
And we cut them so that you can open them and actually look inside and see heart defects. This is actually tetralogy of Fallot. So there's a hole in the heart here, and then the aorta, which is the big vessel that feeds the abdomen in the body, is going out through there. So they're actually figuring out where they want to put patches to route the blood from inside the left ventricle out into the body.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And then how did it evolve from cardiology? I see a couple more hearts there.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are these kind of multicolored ones in the middle?
So basically from cardiology, once we figured out that it was working really well for our cardiothoracic surgeons, we opened it up to our basically any other specialties that thought that they could benefit from it. And one of our first physicians that reached out was Dr. Shahab Desalam, and he's a general surgeon that kind of resects tumors in patients. So if you look at these two, these are basically models that he used to kind of map his surgeries before he went in and got them.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's going on over here? They might hear that noise in the background. This is part of that. What are you printing?
Yeah, we're actually printing on both of our printers currently. So this is actually a print of a skull. We have a finished one right in front that was done. We're just kind of simulating what the printer actually does and how that prints out. So craniomaxillofacial is another specialty that reached out to us. And in this skull, there's actually it's called cranial synostosis. This center line should not be fused like it is. It should be separated. So our surgeons can use this to basically reshape the skull so that there's plenty of room for this infant's head to grow.
And it's cool how you can see the plastic just going right into it.
Yeah, so that plastic's actually PLA. We do a lot of our printing with PLA. It's a fairly easy plastic to work with. It literally goes through kind of the orange and black PCC that are moving around, melts the plastic, and then lays it down layer by layer. And as it does that, it's kind of like just building the model one layer at a time.
Yeah, and it looks like orthopedics has worked with you as well. What do we got here?
Yep, so Dr. Esposito reached out to us on a couple of tough cases, and we were able to do this. This is an ankle that had to be kind of reconstructed. You can see there were some issues here with just basically bony growth that had come in. He had to reshape this just to open that ankle up so that the mobility in the ankle could be restored.
So I'm also hearing noise from this guy. What project is cranking over on this printer?
Yeah, so this is actually a printer that was donated to us, and we actually are printing a in utero face of a baby. We worked with a couple of our collaborators last year from UNO and from Creighton University, and this is a project that one of our Creighton students actually got a NASA grant on. And the idea and the concept was blind parents don't get to feel that same feeling we get when we look at a 3D ultrasound of our baby's face. So we actually were able to work with Women's Hospital and get an ultrasound and create that 3D face so that a blind parent could actually feel that face and get the same senses that we do when we see the picture of our baby in 3D.
Wow. So very personal, powerful medicine. I just am wondering, what feedback have we gotten from the parents and the kids who have gotten to take part in this project?
The feedback's been phenomenal. I mean, aside from just the outcomes in surgeries happening faster and seeing good outcomes as far as results in surgeries and better situations for our patients, there's a much better understanding for our kids and for our parents. Kids typically are holding an iPad when we're talking to the parents about what we're going to do or what the case is going to look like. we're able to take these models, and a kid will actually set an iPad down, which is...
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's impressive in itself. And look at this model and understand, okay, this green part here is what we're actually going to take out. For example, on one of these models, we can actually...
On the tumor one.
Yeah,
right?
So this is the green part, and we can actually tell a child, hey, we're going to take this part out. And we kind of build these so that we can pull apart and show kind of the different pieces that are going to have to be moved. And then basically you've got the tumor there. And so a child will put down that iPad, look at this, and understand, okay, here's what we're going to get out. We have to get out away from all these vessels. And for kids, it's good to have a little bit of understanding, but parents really get what's going on.
Yeah.
And our gen surgery team can actually use this to kind of come out in operation and say, hey, remember when we talked about this? We're at this stage. We've moved these things. We're almost ready to take the tumor out.
When you see this, you have such renewed respect for our specialists.
Yeah. We have an amazing team here at Children's that really really wants to be on the cutting edge of everything that we're doing. And they want to be able to have all these tools, and it's awesome for our site to basically give those tools to them.
Yeah. So what's next? I imagine you have a lot of different areas at your door thinking, how can we use this?
Yeah, so like we said kind of from the beginning with cardiology working with us, and then we moved into radiology to get help doing everything outside the heart. Now it's kind of coming to where a lot of educational aspects are coming into it, where how can we figure out new training methods for our residents and our fellows? What can we do better for educational value for our staff? As well as just continuing to get better in different methods of these types of prints for our patients. So every day is something new. We're getting into 3D visualization with holograms and those types of things. I mean, this whole section of medicine is just exploding.
It's incredible. So just as a children's team member, as a dad, what do you find so rewarding about this work?
This place has had such support for advancing and being on the cutting edge of technology. And when it comes to my children, or when it comes to looking at, a parent wants their child to have the best care that they can, we're dedicated to that here. And being a part of that team is really, really fulfilling.
Well, it's absolutely amazing. It's powerful medicine. Sometimes you think of technology as being cold or impersonal, but this shows just the opposite. So thanks for sharing your expertise with us. And thank you guys for joining us for our first ever Facebook Live. Be sure to follow Children's on Facebook and Twitter, and you can visit us online at childrensomaha.org.